Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Tour de France 2023. This is episode number 16. We're in the final stage of the Open Tour and the final stage of the year for our team. Once again, still being under scheduled. I got better and better riders, and they don't seem to be doing a whole lot, but this is a mountain stage. It is a better chance for them. We finished with an alls cat. We'll see what we can do here. Shortest stage of this race, and I have an 80-kilometer lead in the combativity, but I'm only 4 points down in the King of the Mountains classification. A lot of points on offer on this final stage. I've got to get in the early break, collect the early points, maybe still be a part of the Cat 1 climb. If I could pick up some decent points there, then I can still win the King of the Mountains. But I'm going to have to get ahead early to have any chance, and maybe even be solo to have any chance at taking that polka dot jersey.
Hello cycling fans everywhere. This final stage promises to be restless. With its short format over irregular terrain, riders who are still vying for the general classification have got an ideal setting to go on to the attack.
Here we go, right from the off, we are able to take off about a kilometer in. We didn't have too far to go to get to the head of the field. I'm not the only one off the front though. A lot of riders have attacked. 40 seconds ahead of the peloton. They have not accelerated at all yet. 4 riders just behind me. Riders that already have kilometers in the brakes, so my 80-kilometer advantage is coming into play here. I do need to start backing off though. There's 7 riders just behind me. Let them make contact and follow their coattails. 38 seconds to the peloton. I have to keep an eye on this group of 10. See, they're already starting to attack each other a little bit as I've had contact made. Peloton catches that chase group. Could this be a chance? Are they going to accept 9 of us? Just 11 seconds back. 13 seconds, 14 seconds. We are starting to open a gap over the peloton. Will they accept 9 riders off the front? No, 2 more riders attacking. Of course, they sit up just a little bit and more riders attack, which means they're going to be unhappy. And Squeda, is he attacking or is he just accelerating? Already coming up on this first climb and 5k to go on it, as it's just 5.2k, and we are heading up the ramp. 6%, not easy and not a very good puncher for a situation such as this, and I'm very much low on red bar, so let's go ahead and gel up. Squeda going backwards is not where I want to be at the moment. 10 riders, 44 seconds ahead. Viermos makes contact with us. The other riders were caught by the group, and immediately 3 more riders on the attack, making life again absurdly difficult on us right now to try to collect some points. 4 riders will get points at the top of this climb, I believe. And I'm not looking like I can compete to be in the top 4. Over a minute over the peloton though. Just last strap in no man's land. And we drop Fred Wright. And that's it for the red bar. We have given it all it can, which means we can't attack. And we're only halfway up the climb. We're going to have to use a little bit of our other gel to make sure we have enough to get to the top. We're down to 9 here. If we could see a couple more riders dropped, that's going to be good for the longevity of this. A lot of guys are really tired. You can really see those shoulders bobbing pretty bad. But I have no acceleration possible.
Keep an eye on him. He's
Gel.
the best climber in the breakaway.
Fully. Okay, here's what we need to. Oh, I can't go. No, 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 no. Control. Full. Ay. Man, I hit the button to assert control and it goes to nothing. No energy. I hate when it does that. Unfortunately, I'm the first one out the back. So I will not collect points on this particular climb. Youngles gets 5. So I still remain 4 points behind Youngles. Picks up a few points. Will I get these two ahead of me and able to join up with them? It looks like I will. There we go. So if I join these two, we are 19 seconds behind the front six, 3:37 ahead of the peloton, as that push was pretty big. But I'm not sure we are pushing very hard right now at all. It seems like we are riding pretty casually. 28 seconds, 30 seconds. Group's starting to split off. Millard has been dropped now. 3K for the climb, 7%. Peloton now 4 minutes back. Millard regains contact, and I have nearly regained contact. But we're going to approach the top of the climb, and guys are going to attack 2 points up there, but I don't think I have anything left to really try to do anything with that. We'll follow Knox for now. Try to recover a little bit for the top. 800 meters. Literally nothing for the attack, so I'm just following. This is now about the being in the break for the long haul. Outer red bar getting distanced. Knox gets the points ahead of Millard. Not enough of a descent through here.
Able to follow the very best when he's in shape.
I need to make contact with the two behind me and hope that the three of us are able to get back up there. And we are well ahead of the peloton.
He's a rider who can put in a long day's ride. He has no real strengths or weaknesses except the
Just
mountain.
35 seconds behind. They're not pushing too hard, but I can't push hard at all, so for now I'd rather take the quick recovery, make contact with these two, and then follow.
A mountain bike specialist, Alexis Vuillermoz, made a successful switch to the road, as evidenced by his stage win in Mur de Bretagne on the 2015 Tour de France.
Remember, it's a short stage. We're already inside 100 kilometers, even though we're still at the establishing the breakaway type phase.
His teammates will no doubt wait for him.
37 seconds behind. We've made some progress towards the front 8. Can we get back and make it a front 11 once again? We've got a bit of time here. Pace is pretty high. I'm at the back of the group. We went through the hardest part of the climb, but I have very little energy with 2K to go to the top of this one to be able to try and attack and claim points. This is now more about staying alive. 1K to go and almost out of energy. We've already used the entirety of our gel and didn't even recover a whole lot there. Minute and a half back, 3:38 to the peloton. Looks like my time in the breakaway might be done. Okay, I'm caught by the peloton just at the base of the Category 1 climb. I did recover a fair bit. Mount Ravard. 17 kilometers, 5.5%. Really tough climb. Peloton's already down to 68 riders. My whole team is here for now, but I'm the most tired. I'm not worried about them trying to protect me. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to be a part of this GC. I will do what I can do on my own. Front 10 still together. I was the only one who just couldn't hack it. 2:09 to the peloton. Really do think that maybe it's time. I have two options. I mentioned it at the end of last episode. I have two options. One, decrease the difficulty to normal. Two, use my teammates more often. There's career mode, where that is what's meant to be. And then there's pro cyclist mode, or whatever they call it here. Pro leader. This is pro leader mode. I'm that pro leader. I ride as that pro leader. I know that that's a conscious choice. I know that I can control the other riders. But for me, this mode is not meant for that. It's not designed for that. I am the pro leader. I need to control the pro leader. Yes, I'm going to sign new teammates and whatnot, but this is how the game's meant to be, in my opinion, and how I intend for it to be. And therefore, looks like this difficulty level is just a step too hard. I feel like we're going to continue on in this cycle for ages if I don't do something. So looks like I'm going to turn the difficulty down to normal for next season and go from there, because just not a fan of just how challenging it is. 54 left in the peloton. My whole team is there except for me. I'm loving that fact. We got a lot of climbers and they are faring well. Breakaway down to 2 minutes already, so they've lost what, a minute and a half on this climb. And I'm actually progressing since getting dropped. I'm recovering as other guys get dropped and can't keep up. I had too little energy at the base of the climb because I was in the break, but I am out climbing others. However, time to improve my position on the base of the steeper slopes of the final climb. I escaped the group. I'm already up to 65th now positionally. I obviously cannot climb quite that pace for too long. But as I ditch group, the field is all split up. Let's kind of get caught up on where I am and what's going on there.
Acceleration at the front of the
See, I'm
peloton.
group 33. Oof. There we go. All right, so from group now 35, I'm 17-12 behind. A lot of riders are already getting close to the top of the climb, so big gaps here. And I know I can make progress. I already have. I've moved up from outside of the top 70 to now 65th. I can see a couple riders coming pretty quickly. So my goal, if we can, is to get to the top 50 by the end of the climb. And we'll see what we can do. In the meantime, I'm still last in my team, so check it in as we move up the field. There's lots of guys to catch, pass, those sprinters, Hofstetter.
At less than 3 kilometers from the finish, no one has managed to gain
Group 26 is my first teammate. I would imagine that's like a Grossschartner or something. Me on the KOM. Definitely no chance on that one now. So just the combativity. And that one, not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination. Group Lopez. So Lopez is in group 14 now. At 3.1k, he's about 3.5 kilometers ahead of me. Almost 4 kilometers ahead of me on the road. As I'm coming up on a couple more riders. I'll quickly move up into 57th. But now Vermont. Aaron Burrow. Pretty good climbers. Get sheltered from the wind for a moment. There's Gall, Champs-Elysées, Lutsenko. Fortunato still up, well placed 7th. All much better climbers than I am, and yet they struggle because the best I can hire is a 75 overall. Which means they're not going out and winning anything. I'm not going out and winning anything. How are we supposed to get into higher level races if I can't hire the riders capable of getting us into the higher level races? I'm not capable of getting into the higher level races. Got a tricky situation. I am on my way to scoring the most points, if I get that combativity award anyway. Most points I've ever had in a season. So Viermos grabs that coveted 50th position that I was hoping to get up to. There's most of that breakaway from today. Viermos, Dabont, Mollard, Vauquelin, I think they were all in it. 55th now, all that's left for me. Already 17 minutes since the leader's finished. 55th position, up from the 70th I was in, but still finding it rather tough. If I spend all day in the group, I could certainly finish in the top 50, but where could I finish? It still probably wouldn't be better than about 30th, and that's why things are difficult. The order confirmed Großschartner, though, 10th. So our highest finisher was Großschartner. Martinez only grabs 13th at 9:13 down, as he had lost significant time earlier. I do finish in the top 50 in the overall. I get 46th in the JC. That's one of the first times we've had this type of profile and did manage to finish overall in the top 50. And that's even intentionally losing 2 minutes in the first stage. Well, semi-intentionally. I probably would have lost that anyway, just about. KOM Johannesson ends up taking it anyway, winning that final climb, the Allscat. He gets, I think, 20 points for that. Had 1 point otherwise. Nobody exceeded 20. Fortunato, 16. It's like it was in reach for me, but I couldn't score points in those last couple of stages. There's too many climbers that are better. Somehow we take second in the team classification. Impressive stuff there, but we just cannot get an actual high overall placement. 15 kilometers is all I'm able to hang on to by in the combativity award, but it's enough. We get those 10 extra points, those very, very coveted 10 extra points, and that puts me at a grand total of 62 points on the season. The highest previous total was 50, so we exceeded by 12, but it's still, we're just floundering in this current state. I doubt I'm going to be seeing a significant overall improvement as a result of this race, but let's confirm that before I do decide to make any sort of change. Van Hoek picks up 9 points overall in the season. Großschartner and Martinez each getting 6 points overall on the season, giving us a pretty weak overall. 83, it's still our best total, and it still distanced us further from the 3 Continental Pro teams that are here, the weaker 3, but we have to more than double to catch Israel Premier Tech, and there's still a couple races following this one for an opportunity for the others to exceed our total, as we're not going to be participants in those. I do make progress in 5 different areas. Finish flat stage, so we got +1, so it's a 66 now. 1 point better off, but you can see that team time trial, which we've still never experienced, and some of those weaker classics. I would love to get into those because we desperately need to improve that flat rating more so than we have. But even after everything we just did, we're still the same in the sprint. I am up to 12 intermediate sprints won, but we need to get to 20 before we gain our next point in that area, or we need to actually win something. Mountain. Our 10th mountain stage finished. We now have a 72 mountain rating. But again, there is absolutely nothing in here that's going to set us up to gain anything. We've never won a Cat 1. We've won a total of 3 Cat 2s, and most of those have been solo, or all of them solo. I do gain 2 points in cobble now. It's at a 62. It's getting better. We let out another sector, so that's got us up to 5. It was just our 3rd ever cobbled stage, and again, I think it's been that same stage all 3 times. I've led over the final climb 5 out of the 6 times that we've been over it. This time, we only got 1 out of 2, actually. Recovery is up to an A. This could make a difference, actually, because stages 4 and 5 on this one were rough, because even though I only spent 1 day in the break of the first 3, that 5-stage race, the recovery piece is hard. 1 day in a breakaway, and that recovery piece was hurting. Stage 4 was okay. By the time I went out for stage 5, we were exhausted by the time we had that 2nd day in the break. So here we have finish a race over 200k. Only the 2nd time we've done that. Finish a mountain stage, finish a flat stage. Getting both of those gave us enough to finally have an A on recovery. It's still not an A+, so there's still another step for that, but that recovery piece is up to a 75% now, and that's definitely going to help. Overall, 48%. I'm almost halfway there through development, but we are still a rider that, outside of stamina acceleration, our highest base stat is the 73 hills. Our first useful stat, 72 mountain. Following the final race of the year, of course we didn't participate, so we are still 23rd, second year in a row in 23rd, and we've definitely opened that gap. I mean, last season we barely had 50 as a team, barely taking 23rd. This season we double up on Iolo Comite, but we're still insanely far behind Israel Premier Tech, not even half of their total. How do you progress from there, right, without something changing? So it's time for a change. And so we upgrade from Uchabrooks to Schultz for the coming season. Definitely a better climber, but not significantly. He's 1 point better in mountain, 1 point better in medium mountain, a couple points better in hills. But he's across the board better, including recovery. And that's going to make a little bit of a difference. But for now, there's not really any progress that I can make improving the team. We are now as good as I can hire. I still have 70,000 left, and there's nothing I can do to invest it into better riders other than literally removing myself. I don't even know if that's possible. Can I sell myself? No, I can't. So apparently my values got up to 40,000. I think it was at 30,000. There are certain things that I do, especially sprint better than my teammates, but a 68 sprint is still not going to be winning sprints. The 76 acceleration helps a little bit, helps me, win Cat 4s, Cat 3s, but I'm still not a major threat in any meaningful way, and I'm definitely finding it difficult. So I have opted to bring it down to the 2-star difficulty from 3-star difficulty to try to get things moving along. Stage 1 of the 3 days of Provence, the first race of the year, first stage, and this is one of those ones where stage 1 has all of these King of the Mountain points. They're all Cat 1 or Cat 4s. They're all 1 point, but there's so many of them on offer that if you take even a majority, you set yourself up nicely for the King of the Mountains, because stage 2 doesn't have much going on. Also, the combativity award is really well set with the stage, the first stage, as it's the longest stage. So Van Ho is just 6 seconds behind. The two of us are a minute 20 ahead of the field. I want to stay ahead just long enough here to take take this first point before he catches up. So we'll let him come after us after that. Just 5 seconds ahead for now. I've given myself just a little bit extra to make that final push for 1K to go here. Two minutes ahead of the peloton, so 2-man break. It's good, because for the kilometers, it's just him and I that I have to worry about on the third stage. 1.4K from the top. I'm going to try to attack early on Van Ho and see if I can get some separation. And it looks like I have. I'm a few seconds ahead of him. I'll start to back off here, tempo-wise, a little bit, though. He's 8 seconds back. We've got it. 10 seconds back. For the first time, I have, I think, a weaker opponent with me, making life much easier. Ease off now.
You were first over the top of the climb.
Third climb here shortly thereafter. I'm coming up on 1K to go. I'm going to attack a little bit later. I had a pretty easy go of him the last time. Here he goes, so we respond. And yes, I've got much better acceleration. I am not quite going max here. Trying to get myself a little bit more for the finish. Out of red bar right at the end. Did I get the throw? No, I did not get the throw. I thought I had him on the throw. I was so close. Photo finish goes to Van Ho. I run out of red bar. He doesn't. Even with my improved stamina, I still can't beat a guy who's overall quite a bit weaker than I am, but he's able to have enough stamina to continue pushing, and I couldn't. It's early, but I'm gonna try to break off from Van Ho now, as we are on the 4th climb of the day. I do have separation here over him.
You're 2 kilometers from the top.
6 seconds ahead. The climb before the climb set me up. Now we go inside 1K, and then it's gonna reset and go again.
You'll have to up the pace.
And I'm only just ahead of him, actually. He made contact briefly, got lost, but now he's pushing again. 3 seconds back. 4 seconds back. Okay, I did set that up well enough. And we've got him. 1.4K from the first intermediate sprint. I don't want to be in the sprint classification, but I do want to win the intermediate sprints, because in doing so, you set yourself up for eventually getting better as a sprinter. Tricky situation, because I don't want to get caught out, but we got that one. And we're already 4K from the top of the next climb. I could probably get separation from this guy pretty quickly here, but let's back off for now and recover that red bar. So we do have something for the top of the climb. 4 minutes ahead of the peloton. They've pulled us back a bit over the last stretch. The earlier I leave it, the more I get caught out all the time. The earlier I go, the better. This is a guy that I know I can beat, but he seems to be able to outlast me. So he's going to come through for a moment. We're going to let him go. And I've got to pick my point. He's already launched. So for now, we follow. And we'll have to try to go for the overtake. I've got the acceleration advantage over him. And he's going pretty deep right now. 500 meters. Here we go. Can we actually overtake? I'm running low on the red bar, but he went lower. That time it worked. He's actually fairly easy to beat head-to-head, so that's good to know. 4-minute advantage, almost 4.5. Another intermediate sprint point coming up fairly soon. 1.5K, I'm getting myself up to speed. He doesn't want to take a turd right now, so I'm going to have to get out here first. I've got the acceleration advantage. Yep, there it is. Advantage kicking in. Not going full gas yet. Ooh, has he got a better overall top speed? No. Whew, that was close. Got the win though. Got the win. Held just enough in reserve to have something for the throw at the end for the red bar. Maintained the advantage over him, though in letting up he kind of closed up on me, got real close. But I had enough to get that throw. That worked out. 2 intermediate sprints won today. 4 points already in the KOM out of 5 opportunities. Got that jersey wrapped up. Will we still be ahead? 3:10 the advantage when we get to the next one. 1.5K to go on the next climb. We are still ahead of the peloton. It's only a minute 12 ahead. They're getting awfully close to us. I'm going to push a little bit harder to maintain a gap and to avoid what's coming right now, which is Van Ho pushing on. Let him kind of shield us just a little bit. Now full gas, full gas, full gas. We got it. Oh, it's so nice to actually be the better climber for a change. And is this because he's weak, or is it because I turned it down to a neutral difficulty, to the average difficulty, that we are suddenly finding ourselves performing well? I think this is more to do with a weaker opponent, but it could be the difficulty. AI was being a little bit wonky. I was trying to increase tempo so we could hold off the peloton, and instead it wouldn't increase for me. And soon after, Van Ho decides that he needed more tempo, so he attacks me. So then when I try to regain control, it had slowed us down significantly, deciding that we were going to wait for the peloton instead, which is not what I wanted to do. So now we find ourselves trying to play catch up. 9 seconds behind Van Ho, 45 seconds ahead of the peloton, 2.4K for this final categorized climb of the day, and we catch up to Van Ho. 26 seconds ahead. Let's follow him for a little bit. Oh, and then it doesn't latch onto the wheel. And then he sits up. Now he attacks. Yeah, of course. We'll follow him for a second. 1.2K. Keeping an eye on the peloton, 30 seconds behind. We're going to have to attack him. Peloton's going to catch us if we don't. 26 seconds. 500 meters. Yep, let's go. One more point on the day. I love it. 6. I don't think we've ever gotten 6 out of the 7. We've been on this stage quite a few times. We've taken 4 plenty of times. We've taken 5 once or twice, I think. I don't think we've ever claimed 6. And with a 25-second advantage over the peloton, we are going to push on as best we can. The descent is good for tempo and burns a little less energy, but it's just not
Go.
a steep enough descent
It won't be easy, but give it a
to
try.
otherwise they're not going to let me get away on stage 3. But there's only 5k to go. What are you supposed to do?
5 kilometers for the
Final kilometer, and I'm just about ready to crash out, bonk out. Yeah, right before the finish line. Damar takes the stage. I finish in the bunch. Good or bad, I don't know, but we finish in the bunch. KOM Jersey Combativity Award are ours for the day. 2 intermediate sprints, 1. It's good for our progress, absolutely. Turning it down a step on the difficulty or just the easier opponent. Hard to say which, or whether it was a combination of both that set us up for that today. Either way, it was a good day in the saddle. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.